Hello and welcome back to the GCP-Mindset channel. Today we'll answer the question, what is the difference between exploratory and confirmatory trials? This is a great question and it relates back to the foundational statistics of a project. At the end of the day, in an exploratory trial, the idea is to generate hypotheses, which means to generate further ideas for research questions for subsequent trials. In a confirmatory trial, the opposite is the case. You're testing a specific hypothesis and you want to understand the answer to the question that you're raising. And you're generating statistical evidence to basically extrapolate from the trial population that you have included in the project to the general population to answer a specific research question. So in an exploratory trial, you basically observe the data, you don't draw conclusions, at least not confirmatory ones. You simply draw conclusions to ask questions afterwards. That could be that you are exploring whether there's a relationship between applying your drug and the treatment effect. You cannot say there is one, but you can say we have evidence that there is one, so we should run a confirmatory trial afterwards. In the same way, you can explore the safety profile of your product, saying that it's safe enough or not, but you don't have confirmatory conclusions on this. Sometimes this exploration also extends to secondary endpoints. Maybe you are looking at survival in your population, but at the same time, quality of life is something you would like to explore. Your trial is not set up to give a definitive answer on whether quality of life in your patient population is improving, but you want to gather first evidence and understand a little bit the structure of your population that you enrolled. This is what you do in exploratory trials. In confirmatory trials, you have a very clearly defined confirmatory outcome. That's what you're looking for. This is mostly related only to the one primary endpoint that's selected. For example, I want to definitively answer if my treatment has a positive benefit on the overall survival of my group. Now, statistically, you reject the null hypothesis, you don't accept the alternative hypothesis, but I don't want to go into the details with that. This is just important to note, but of course, it provides you the evidence that you need to answer and to address this research question with confidence. Even in confirmatory trials where the primary endpoint is tested in such a manner, you do have your secondary endpoints. As I mentioned before, if you look besides the survival into the exploration of quality of life, that can also be combined. However, there are some trials which only look in an exploratory manner, and then there are those that have a confirmatory primary outcome and then exploratory secondary or tertiary endpoints.